Howdy, hi. It is Dear Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap. Might have been the ugliest game of basketball I've watched this entire season. On the day, we go 1-3, bringing our season record to 255 and 240. So I will just kind of talk about this game in general. Final score, Connecticut Sun, 57 to 74. The Sun shot 34% from the field, 20% from deep. That's a nice 5 of 25. They win the rebound battle. They lose the turnover battle. The only winner we actually hit was Sanaya Rivers, her points over 7.5. This was a difficult line to find. You were not going to find this on your main sports books. BetMGM didn't have it. FanDuel didn't have it. DraftKings didn't have it. ESPN Bet didn't have it. You had to go to some tertiary sites to go and actually find this number. So if you found the number, good to you. But it was not easy. Everything else, number line-wise, was easy. Sun plus 9.5? No. Over 158.5? Not a chance. We also had Veronica Burton, PRA, over 20.5. She had 6 rebounds and 10 assists. She did not hit her PRA. She goes 0 of 3 from the field. How do you only shoot the ball 3 times in an entire basketball game? How do you do that? I'm going to pull up her game log and see what she's done the previous games, because I know she's been scoring the ball. Previous games, she has shot the ball 9, 6, 8, 9, 7, 8. But today, 3. Previous games scoring 16, 8, 8, 18, 10, 10, 10. And today she scores 3. Thank you, Veronica Burton, for absolutely nothing. The main talking point, though, is the Connecticut Sun and how bad they are at basketball. Tina Charles did not play due to rest. That makes sense. Back-to-back. She's quite old. Not really going to want to send her out there. Marina Mabrey, 1 of 7. Layla Lacan, 2 of 10. Bria Hartley, 1 of 9. They combined to go 4 of 26. Those are 3 out of your 5 starters. Your other 2 starters are your center and your power forward. In your guards go 4 of 26? That is egregious. Literally egregious. They went 1 of 16 from deep combined. Marina 0 of 6, Lacan 0 of 5, Hartley 1 of 5. That's got to be the grossest stat numbers I have ever read. I mean, that is like LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and James Bouknight levels of bad from the Charlotte Hornets. That is just putrid. All right, that's the recap. Thank God we don't have to see this matchup again for the rest of the year. We can move on to the 2 games and the player props for tomorrow. All right, so we got 2 games. One of them is good. One of them is not. We will first talk about the game that is probably not going to be good. Dallas Wings, Indiana Fever. I'm going to take the home team with the Fever, minus 7.5. Also going to rock the over, 107.5. Fever, they're banged up. However, they did sign Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract, so it looks like the point guard help is on the way. Dallas is horrible. Arike has been non-existent this entire year. They traded away their best defender in Dejanay Carrington. They traded away Nalissa Smith. They don't care about winning currently, so I will take the team that needs to continue to win to improve their playoff seeding at home, minus the points. Dallas, they are 8-24 on the year. They've lost 5 games in a row. Their last win came at home against the New York Liberty. That about tells you all you need to know about the New York Liberty. This is just a 1-game road trip, kind of weird. They just played a home game. They now go to Indiana. Then they go back to Dallas right after this. Normally the WNBA doesn't like to do that. They like to send you on the road for 2 or 3 at least, and then you go back home. But not here. Since they have traded Dejanay Carrington, they've given up a metric ton of points. 91, 88, 85, and 88. They just played this Fever team 2 weeks ago. They lost by 10 points at home. I could see it being even worse on the road. Paige Beckers listed as probable for this game. The fact she's even on the injury report is kind of concerning. Arike Gumbawale also listed as probable. I would assume one of them would not play. The fact that either of them were on the report a day before is already concerning. I would assume one of them does not suit up. Fever, 18-14 on the year. I mentioned a minute ago, they signed Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. If you remember earlier this season, Odyssey was on the Sparks. Then she got dropped when they picked up, I think it was Julie Van Loo, when she got dropped by the Valkyries after she came back from Eurobasket. So a whole bunch going on there. I think she's a good pickup. She's good with the ball. She can get a bucket. She's basically Ari McDonald 2.0, except she doesn't have a broken foot and can currently play basketball. Fever coming off of a 22-point home win against the Chicago Sky. Really ain't much to say otherwise. They're the better team. Maybe Kelsey Mitchell finally has a good game when I'm backing the Indiana Fever. I'm just going to fade the Wings. They're very bad at basketball. Paige and Enrique on the injury report. Give me the Fever. Give me the over. Next game, it is 100% the better game. New York Liberty, for some reason, are laying 3.5 points on the road in LA. I think this is the highest total we've seen all year. It's 178.5. They're basically telling you both teams are about to touch 90 points in a 40-minute basketball game. Sparks, they are not coming off of a back-to-back. They've had a day of rest in between. I think they are about to lay belt to ass. Give me the Sparks plus 3.5. Give me the over, 178.5. New York Liberty not playing well without Breanna Stewart. They are coming off of a 12-point home loss to the Minnesota Lynx, a Lynx team without their best player, Nafisa Collier. I've been horrified at how Sabrina has been playing. She just keeps on chucking the ball, but it's not going in, and she's not finding her open teammates who are actively playing better basketball than her. Sabrina's 40% from the field this year, 30% from deep. I don't think the Sparks, I know the Sparks defense isn't good, but they are tall. Sabrina is going to have to pull up from length if she's going to get an open three-point shot attempt. And she's not making them. 30% from deep, 0 of 6 in her last game. She's horrible. Not to mention the New York Liberty dead last in offensive rebounding. That is not going to bode well against an LA Sparks team who is giant and crashes the board hard both sides. So I don't think they're going to get much shot ups. If they're not shooting 45, damn near 50% from the field or deep, they're not going to be able to keep up with the Sparks offense. Sparks 15-16 on the year. They just beat the Storm at home, 94-91. Despite being down 20-5 with 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter, they then scored 89 points in 31 minutes of basketball. This team can hoop. I think I'm going to forget the Valkyries game that took place right before that. First game of a doubleheader, kind of a look-ahead spot to the Storm. We're just going to toss that one into memory. They played this Liberty team 3 weeks ago. That was the game where Stewie got hurt. They won on the road, 101-99. I think they can 100% do it at home. They're playing better basketball. Cam Brink is back now, coming off the bench. And we will talk about her in the player props right now. All right, now for player props, I decided we would go with the blonde bombshell player prop segment. Up top, that is Sophie Cunningham. Down low, that is Cameron Brink. I don't claim to know how tall Sophie Cunningham is, but if I had to guess, I would say 6'2". I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to find out. All right, Google tells me I am wrong. She is 6'1" and she went to college at Missouri. 2 things I did not know. Anyway, I'm going to be taking her points and rebounds over 13.5. With basically every single person injured, they did sign, like I said, Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. Not sure if she's going to suit up. She only got signed less than 48 hours ago, so she'll have to travel to Indiana, learn the offense, and then play in this game. I don't think that's going to happen, so I'm assuming they're still without her for this one. Sophie Cunningham has low-key been a pretty solid point guard. She's hit this number in points and rebounds in 3 out of her last 4 games. The Wings play basically no defense. Fever should be able to score at will. Also, the Wings, they have the 3rd worst field goal percentage in the league. That means there's going to be lots of rebounds. They also don't rebound well defensively. Could be some offensive boards for Sophie. I like her points and rebounds over 13.5. She's getting it up like 8 to 9 shots, and she'll get plenty of boards. So give me the over there. Next one, considering, well, once I picked Sophie, I was like, all right, I got to take another blonde chick. And I was like, well, my options are limited because there's not many bombshell blondes in the league. And I didn't want to go Lexi Hall. So I was like, okay, we have to go Cameron Brink. She's coming off the bench. We really don't know how many minutes she's going to play. So this is a bit of a risky one. It is plus 200 on FanDuel for her to have 6 or more rebounds. This is kind of wild. Previous game, she only played 16 minutes. But I think she can get her done. Liberty, they are one of, if not the worst rebounding team I've seen in the league so far this season. They are 100%, due to stats, the worst offensive rebounding team. They are ranked 8th overall in rebounding. They just don't grab boards. Even with John Quell and Emma Mieseman now down low, they don't do it. I think it's just purely energy-based. They're not built like that. Brink, she's tall. She's a pest. When she plays, she's going to get hella rebounds. So knowing that, hopefully Lynn Roberts puts her in. Maybe she gets around 20 minutes. The previous game, she played just 10 off the bench against the Storm, who are a big team down low. She grabbed 5 rebounds in 10 minutes. If she plays 15, this is hitting. So I don't mind a stab. 6 rebounds plus 200 on FanDuel. All right, that is going to do it for me in this video. I really hope I don't get shit on again today. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.